Section 1. System requirement AOSP build. First, let's ensure if our system is capable of building the AOSP project. To do so, navigate to Setup tab of AOSP web page, click Start, click Meet Requirements. In this page, we'll find hardware, software, OS and JDK needs been listed. The hardware requirement states that we need a 64-bit Linux environment with 250 GB of free disk space and an 150 GB for each build. The software requirement is nothing but the AOSP source code itself. In case if we are not fetching the AOSP master branch, then we need to install OpenJDK manually, which we will be doing so. Unfortunately, we can't build the AOSP project in Windows. We need a Linux machine to do so. I don't have a Linux machine, hence I'll be creating a VM and I will be loading the image onto that. Section 2. VM creation AOSP build. Open Oracle VM VirtualBox Manager, new. Provide a suitable name for the VM, set the type as Linux and the version as Ubuntu 64-bit and click Next. Provide a sufficient RAM size for the VM, set the hard disk and the hard disk file type to be the default and click Next. I'm just going to create a VM of fixed size, hence I'm setting the value as fixed size and click Next. This is the crucial part of VM creation. To support the AOSP build, we need sufficient amount of disk space. Hence, I have created this VM and allocated 500 GB to it. Now click Create. Click the VM that has been created right now and click Settings. Navigate to Storage, Controller IDE, load the Ubuntu 18.04 image onto it and click OK. Select the VM and click Start. Once the VM comes up, install the OS onto it. Select the suitable language and click Continue. Before proceeding further, ensure you erase the disk before installing the OS. Select the suitable location and click the desired one. Provide the suitable name and the password in the VM creation process. Click Continue. Section 3. Package installation in VM AOSP build. Once the VM comes up, add the VM specific user to the sudo group. The command is sudo user mode -ag sudo jenkins, which is nothing but the VM user itself. The next step is installing the OpenJDK, and the command is sudo apt-get install OpenJDK -8-JDK. This would install the JDK in the machine. The third step will be installing the repo, which would help us in fetching or checking out the source code from Git. The command is sudo apt-get install repo or EPO repo or EPO repo. Click yes and proceed. The fourth and final step is that to install the VM specific packages to support the AOSP build. To do so, navigate to AOSP web page, setup, click start tab, click establish the build environment, copy the Ubuntu 18.04 related packages. And execute the command in the terminal. Now we are all set to fetch the source code. Just do a reboot of the VM. Section 4, initialize repo and checkout source, AOSP build. Once the VM is up after reboot, we just navigate to the AOSP web page, click setup tab, download the source, and in this section, we will find all the needed commands to initialize the repo. First, we will just create the directory. Next, let's cd into the directory. Here, the Android source is our directory that's been created. The next step is configuring the Git with our name and email address. Execute the commands git config -- global user.name, your name, and press enter. Once you are done, similarly configure the git with email address. And the command would be git config -- global user.email email address. Once the git configuration is done, next step is repo initialization. and the command would be repo init hyphen depth is equal to 1 hyphen u https colon slash slash android.google source.com slash platform slash manifest hyphen b, the branch name. In this command, the arguments hyphen depth and hyphen b carry a high weightage. Hyphen b corresponds to the AOSP branch name, and hyphen depth, it helps us reduce the time involved in fetching up the source code, and also it saves the disk space. Hyphen depth indicates that we are not worried about the history of the branch. We would just fetch the latest source code available in that branch. Click enter. The error that we see is of the known issue. The reason is that the repo that we downloaded earlier using the apt-get is not found to be the latest. So what we are going to do is that we are going to manually download the repo from a site, and we are going to replace the already existing repo with the manually downloaded repo file. Let's see how to do that. This is the site from where we are just going to download the repo. The repo is being downloaded now. Navigate to the location where the repo file is located. Open in terminal. Move the repo file into user bin repo. This would replace the manually downloaded repo file with the already existing repo located at user bin repo. Now you can find the repo is getting initialized. The next step is fetching up the source code or checking out the source code from Git, and the command is repo sync. The repo is getting successfully checked out. Section 5, pre-build configuration, fixing known issues, AOSP build. Before building the AOSP project, it is important to fix few known issues that are already available in the system. First is that we should navigate to etc java.openjdk security and open the java.security file. In that, navigate to jdk.tls.disabled algorithms. Ensure jdk.tls.disable algorithms field doesn't include any value associated with TLS. In case you have any values associated with TLS, remove those values and save the file. The next known issue is that there is a possibility that user settings affect the AOSP build script, and to avoid such that we execute the command export lc_all is equal to C. Section 6, building source code, way 1, AOSP build. Navigate to the directory where our AOSP project has been checked out. And now navigate to the AOSP web page. Setup, build, and click build Android. Copy the command source build/env setup.sh and execute that in the terminal. Now execute the launch command. Launch command lists all the menus that is available for building the AOSP project. It specifically lists the emulator specific target and the smartphone specific targets. AOSP_ARM-ENG is one of the emulator supported target. In case if we build this target, we won't be getting the boot.img file because emulator doesn't need the boot.img file. So to generate the other img files along with the boot.img, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pick the menu AOSP_Marlin-user debug. The corresponding ID is 17. So I will just enter 17 and continue. The next thing is enter M and continue. This would build the complete Android open source project and generate all the IMG files in the output directory. The build has been completed. Let's navigate to the output directory and visit or see what IMG files has been generated. Let's have a look into that. Click out, target, Marlin. As you can see in this directory, we have boot.img file, system.img file, ramdisk-recovery.img file, ramdisk.img, and finally the kernel. One thing to be noted is that we don't have the OTA specific zip files or additional zip files that has been generated. We can overcome this by executing or building the entire open source project in another way that we will be covering in short. Section 7. Building source code way 2 AOSP. Open the directory in which the entire open source project is located. Since we already had built the AOSP project by method 1, there is a need to clean the project before building for another time. And the command would be make clean. This would remove all the contents of the output directory. Along with make clean, we also should execute make clobber. The reason is that in case if some files aren't cleaned, we give the system the privilege to overwrite the existing file. Now in this method, the command would be almost the same as the method 1. As you can see, we are just going to execute the same source build / env setup.sh, the shell script. We are going to execute the same launch command to see the list of menus that is been available in the system. We are going to pick the same Marlin target. And here comes the difference from the method 1. Instead of the command named yum, now the command would be make -j4 dist. This command generates the artifacts such that we can share those artifacts with our friends or the team members. In other terms, it packages all images into a zip file and all APKs that is going to be available in the system as a zip file. So it is just going to separate different zip files along with the already existing the IMG files that we saw in the method 1. Now the build has been done. Let's navigate to the output folder. As you can see, we already have the system, user data, RAM disk, recovery, and the kernel. And apart from that, we also have few zips. As you can see, this zip has a lot, 8 PKs, and the zip has all the images, and this Jenkins zip is for the OTAs. Symbols. Apart from this location, we also have all these artifacts available at the dist. In this folder, we also find the target files .zip. So this is responsible for creating the incremental or the full OTA updates. Thank you.